Good morning, good morning. I hope this finds you safe, well, and not suffering from a very lingering cold, as I am. Well, I'm looking out of the window. Oh, and I can't see across the valley because we have yet another day of mist slash fog in front of us. January. It does seem to have dragged on for weeks and weeks and weeks, doesn't it? Anyway, we're at the end of it, and tomorrow is February, which is, by contrast, only about 3 weeks long. I digress. Okay, what have we got for you today? Well, the first thing is there have been a lot of straws in the wind this last week about the relationship between GB and the EU, and that really matters to us in the chemical industry because, of course, if there's a change, a move towards closer cooperation, we may find ourselves being told to dump UK regulations and having to adopt the EU ones again. We don't know that that will happen, but certainly the noises out of the Starmer government have been hinting at this. So really interesting. There was a thing about the European Customs Union, and I'm just going to put a link about this. The first article that I picked up about this was from the BBC. Yes, I know I shouldn't have anything to do with them, but that link's going there. I found it on a Google search. Other search engines are available, but yes, there are noises about from the EU that, the UK may be allowed to join this customs unit. And then a few days later, we have Reeves saying, oh, yes, I would be interested in exploring this. So if that happened, that would obviously affect all of the customs regulations massively. And then the third thing that happened was an article in the Telegraph. Baroness Hoey, who you may remember as Kate Hoey, MP from Northern Ireland herself, saying this is outrageous. The Labour government are looking to use Northern Ireland's rather strange situation where they're in the UK, but the rules that apply to them are EU rules. They're trying to extend that to the whole of the UK and basically kill Brexit in effect. Again, I've got a link to that in this week's newsletter to all of those things, because if those changes were to happen, then clearly what would happen to the chemical industry in the UK would be yet another pile of bureaucracy. I think people don't understand quite how much divergence there's been between chemical regulations in the two jurisdictions. Since we have Brexit, it's mainly caused by the EU just flooding us with changes, whether that's more SVHCs, it's more authorizations, more restrictions, and then the regulatory changes, for example, around CLP. So it's a real watch this space moment. Anyway, it's not fair of me to say that there are things in the weekly email newsletter and not give you a link to sign up. Bear with me. So if you want the full links, then obviously feel free to go in and sign up there. That'll give you access to the archive. If you do sign up just now, you won't get today's newsletter, but you will be able to look at it on the archive from 9:30 onwards. And then going forwards, you will get the email every Friday at 9:30. Sorry, apart from Good Friday, obviously. Right, okay, where was I? Oh, European regulation is our next pit stop. Now, I'm going to hold my hand up here. As regular viewers may be aware, we don't just do regulatory affairs. The business started out doing environmental permitting and COMA ERA. And I have to hold my hand up and go, I got this one completely passed me by. There's been a massive update, an important update to the EU Industrial Emissions Directive, which is a thing that is brought into local member states. And that's what forms the environmental permitting regime here in England and Wales, and the IPPC regime in Scotland and I think Northern Ireland, but don't quote me, because we've never actually had a customer for that over in Northern Ireland. So, and of course, I suspect Northern Ireland is still under the EU rules, so this change will apply to you if you are domiciled there. So the update to that directive, it came out in the spring last year. And like I say, because we have no customers affected by this, it just passed me by, although obviously, you know, I am extremely busy at the moment, as I think we all are. So I'm just going to pop that link in there in case it affects you. And I think one of the really big things out of that is they've actually changed the definition of what pollution is. So as well as being, sort of chemical pollution and noise and vibration, they've added in odor into the definition of pollution in its own right. So that means that they're going to be doing a lot more in the member states when they apply this around odor. Actually, that's an interesting one because will there have to be some kind of Northern Ireland regulation to bring in the IED for Northern Ireland only? Honestly, I have no idea. But yeah, I just wanted to make you aware of that change, because if you are struggling with odor problems on your site and you're under permit, then even in the UK, things are certainly tightening up, but that may actually be brought forward into UK law. We don't know yet. There's too many regulations someday for my little brain. Anyway, leaving all that work on one side, you're going, come on, what's the videos? Well, we've got the last ones from Owlkitty. The first one is Pulp Fiction. I mean, you could certainly imagine a black pussycat as being a hitman, couldn't you? I mean, well, all cats are essentially hardened killers. So that's the first one going in just now. The next one is rather more civilized. It's Dirty Dancing. And I've even put a link in a newsletter to Owlkitty Receives an Oscar, but you'll need to search out for that one yourself if you want. So that's the Dirty Dancing one as well. So that's it for me for today. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have a great day. Take care of yourselves. And have a good weekend as well, of course. But do take care. And I hope to be able to chat to you again next week. Bye.